Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. Happy hump day. Today's the 28th of July, 2021. Give me 1 second as I take care of a few things here. There we go. All right, let's go ahead and get started again. Good morning, and look at price. Look at our blueprints. Let's go ahead and go over these really quick. We'll go into the SPY, the Qs, DIA, IWM, look at some upcoming earnings, also look at some futures, and just kind of talk you through a couple levels here. So first things first, we're going to start with the SPY. All right, and you can see here yesterday that price indeed came right down into the trendy target 2. We specifically explained over the weekend on broad market analysis and yesterday morning talking about the banners, right? So the banners are bullish, so therefore on pullbacks we're looking at buying support, not getting short unless you're trying for a quick scalp underneath the neutral. Meaning, once this broke 438.20, looking for targets of 435.96 and so forth. Notice how we came right into target. Notice how we went bid. Buyers did step in. The banners during this entire time have stayed green. And then price is pushing back up here towards neutral. Now, this is a repeat of a couple weeks ago. We had the same kind of action. And then looking back, looking at the bigger picture, you have to be thinking, well, the overall trend is bullish. Jennifer, you actually brought this up. Good morning, everybody. You brought this up yesterday. Bigger picture, you could see that once we measured the weekly candles, you could see that price was pulling back to the 23.6, and lo and behold, boom, market comes right back up. All right, so that's exactly what we're seeing here on the SPY today. Same levels, folks. 440.36 is going to be resistance. We're pretty darn close to that. And your support is down here at the 438.20. So as long as we're staying in between here, we are looking for neutral. We do have some Fed talk coming up. We also have some more earnings coming up. So I do expect choppiness as we get around here. Let's move over to the QQQ. This again came into target 2. Again, gave you guys this over the weekend, and you could see it worked very well. Let me give you an example real quick of when a trade works and when it doesn't work. It's coming down into support. You say, you know what, I think I want to take it at 362.45 with a stop under 360. Okay, that's a trade plan. It flushes, say you get stopped out. We reclaim the 360.31. We do find support there and wake up this morning, up about $6 from this level, folks. That's a big deal. So again, overall, extremely bullish trend. Support level worked, and hiding underneath there is your trendy edge, and you can see that dotted line there. All right, so nice support there with the trendy scripts. Over here on DIA, we have a beat on Boeing, which I believe is helping this, and we've been looking for some sort of rotation, potentially into the Dow and small caps. And the Dow Jones DIA, or the diamonds, is sticking right in there. If you notice under here, we are holding trendy support, so the edges. Okay, so once again, 349.52 support, looking for a break at 351.12, and if we can get that break, the biggest thing that we need here is for this pivot to break, and then once we do that, I'm still looking for 352 to 353.82. All right, again, let me go over these really quick over here on SPY. 438.20 needs to hold. 440.36 is resistance for right now. On Qs, 364.75 support. Resistance is actually 366.63. All right, so look, you're getting close to resistance here on open with a SPY, close to resistance here on the Qs, and then here close to resistance on the DIA. All of these are synergistically working together. Now we have the IWM, small caps. Check it out. It's just kind of hanging out in the neutral. 217.81 is support. Looking for a move potentially into 220.73. I won't be impressed with IWM, or I won't get too excited until we start to break above 223.70. Okay. All right, so that's enough on the IWM, DIA, Qs, and SPY. If something is not clear, go ahead and speak up, and we can go over that before I move on. All right, let's go ahead and push that down here. Let's go ahead and look at focus trades this morning. Looking at Apple, notice that the pre-market price is only down about a buck. All right. Also notice that after earnings, price moved into the trendy edge. Again, can't make this stuff up. 142.47. When price is above the trendy edge, we look for it to be support when it comes back into there. Another thing I showed you yesterday was our blueprint for Apple, and you can see that this blueprint also worked for earnings. Price pull back into the support zone or support box, and notice that it went bid and reclaimed this level. And what we're working with this morning, folks, is the mid. All right, so I'd really like to see 144.5 hold, looking for a move into this cloud. This is going to be resistance. Okay, so again, now Apple's opening it up into some resistance, and everything else that I showed you is. Okay, that seems to be the theme this morning. So we're really going to have to be patient, 30 minutes to an hour or so. If we could break through that, I do expect 147.94. I think bulls start to jump in over 148, and we'll see 150. Again, as long as 144.5 can hold, opening bell, I like to see 30 minutes to an hour and just kind of chill out and see what the market wants to do. All right, that's Apple. Let's go ahead and get over here to BA. Boom, right? 234, nice call on that underdog. I think you were talking about that yesterday when you had posted out there on Twitter. And I do appreciate your support out there as well. So good job. I think you're looking at the big picture, and potentially what you're talking about is this inside and up over here on the weekly. So from a technical standpoint, this is what we look for to start looking for that long. And you can see inside and up, inside and up. And here we are. This is an ACDC, but you know what? By the time you open up, what do you guys think I'm about to say here on BA? We're opening up into resistance, right? So just know that. Doesn't mean that we can't break through it. We might have some momentum off of earnings, but technically speaking, every time we've come up and touched the edge here, it has been resistance. Okay, so that's all we're doing. We're coming up here, and what you would like to see, technical traders, is we would like to see a higher pivot. Okay, so there's a pivot. Here's a pivot on the 4 hour, and if this is going to be resistance, guess what? You have lower highs. Boom, boom, right? It just kind of does this and fades. All right. So again, bulls need above 238 and a quarter. If we can hold above 238 and a quarter, look for 244. Okay. 249 and 255 in the coming weeks. Big levels there, folks. All right. All right. Let's go ahead and move on. I want to take a look at crowd. All right, CRWD up about a couple bucks here. And I want you to notice that this was our blueprint. It never did break over the neutral. So therefore, you're not taking a long in this trade. So you have to be patient and just kind of wait for it to come back into the levels that are provided here. So you can see that we did come back into the trendy edge. Once again, can't make that up. Notice that we do find support at the trendy edge. We move up very nicely, and we are in the cloud. Today, I'd be looking at a 4 hour candle. Notice that the cloud is right on top of price. Just like most things, it's opening up into resistance. What we need here is a nice little break above 261, and we should see a really nice move into 264. All right, 264 on CRWD. Okay, but needs to get through this cloud. Let's go ahead and talk about support. 258.5, looking for 264.5. All right, let's go ahead and move on to our next one. And let's look at Facebook. I like Facebook. I'm going to take you guys back to about 18 months ago or so when I started talking about 400 and 420. It may sound a little funny, but we had this thing going here in the room where most of these hot stocks, things that were really pushing, they look like they want to hit 400 and 420. And I can't tell you how many stocks did that. And here we are with Facebook. right? And this round number, the market likes round numbers. We're getting very close to 400, 420, and obviously if I were to throw some Fibonacci extensions on here, I can get us to 400, right? So over here on the 4 hour, we do have earnings coming up. Okay, it is flagging. All right, we have this nice ascending, right? And if we can break above here, above 375, you could see a run towards 377, 385 today. Overall targets for me are up towards 390 and 400. And far as support goes, let's say you're looking for an iron condor or even debit spreads, I do like this area right here to fall into support, 355 by 360. So 355 by 360, I like as support. And as a move to the upside, I like 385 to 390. All right. All right, let's go ahead and look at Bitcoin. We're going to look at Bitcoin futures. All right, folks. So if you didn't know, I use ES futures. I do a lot of futures to kind of guide the market. And I've been giving our members here and those out on Twitter this blueprint for several months now. And basically, what we do is look for price to come into the green box. Because this was such a big pullback, I really coach about sentiment. So you're not going to see something drop thousands of points and buyers just kind of come right back in and knock it back up. So this entire time we wanted to stay patient within the green box. Once you start seeing price start to go bid above 35,563, 35,563, you're looking for that move into the ME. Notice that this is a trendy edge. Okay, price moved up here into 39,805. This is resistance. So again, we are opening up into resistance. All right, so you understand that. So here we are at resistance. What does Bitcoin need? It needs about 1 to 3 days of closes over above 39,919, 39,919. Okay? So this is what we're looking for on Bitcoin. What does that mean to you? Maybe you don't trade Bitcoin futures or Bitcoin. What it means is if you want to trade in the market, things like Mara and so forth, anything that's attached to that coin, just understand that the leader, in my opinion, just like I use ES, is this Bitcoin futures. So if you're opening up into resistance, I would be careful if you haven't started any trades there. I would give it a little bit of time to see if we can start to close above this edge before making a move. The idea here, folks, is you want to be getting ready to buy things associated with coin, Bitcoin, so forth, crypto, is when price starts to break and hold over this 35,563. Okay, this is when you're getting long names associated or on Bitcoin futures. All right. But as of right now, you're opening up into resistance. And if you wanted to, you could just draw a box here and you could see there's a little shelf of sellers here or just kind of accumulating in this area and could see the bigger breakout once we get over this. My levels still stand. This is the green box. This is the red box. This is where I expect price to move from. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and take a look at Microsoft really quick. All right, so here's Microsoft at 290. This was a nice pullback yesterday. Notice that the pullback after earnings came right back down into the trendy edge. We found buyers here. And then we open up ourselves right here towards the top. Again, opening up into resistance this morning. We're starting to see a theme here, right? All right, so just take note of that. So how I want to approach this, just like anything else, is for a quick trade. If for some reason you were to break above here, technically you might see a dollar or two and then a sharp pullback and then sideways action. So just be careful if you're buying a breakout trade. That's kind of like Roku yesterday. There was a breakout trade there, gave you about $5 or $6, and then down 30. So not that pretty. You could see here, if we were to dip back down into support, this is where I would be more comfortable taking Microsoft, is if it came into this box around 288.5, and if it reclaimed that level, then I'm shooting for 292, 295. Okay. Another way that you can approach a breakout trade is thinking about scaling in, right? Because you're not getting those lower prices, I could go smaller here. And if for some reason I pull back, I can add here. All right, and then look for that reclaim and then trim here and then boom, look for 295. Okay, just like that. So this is Microsoft setup. Again, support 288.5 by 286.5. Looking for 292, 295.13. A lot of these, I think, kind of pop here into resistance, go sideways. We're waiting for some news and some highlights from the Fed. All right, so think about that. I don't think it will be easy. Might be a little tricky coming into today, but I could be proven wrong. We'll see. All right. All right, let's go ahead and move down. I like this Airbnb. It's still moving nicely. I trimmed some of my position yesterday, so I'm only sitting on a couple contracts here for this. This is 80 days out. We still need to get above this ME. It's having a really hard time. ME stands for monthly edge or a trendy edge. When price is underneath an edge, it is resistance. And notice that here we have support. So you're just kind of locked into these two areas. The bigger trade, in my opinion, starts to happen over this trendy edge. And when we get there, we'll know. And then I wouldn't mind adding on. So I'd like to make this somewhere between a 3 to 5% trade, meaning 3 to 5% of my net liquidity. And then I would be happy to put some more in here, but it needs to see above 142.65. I almost added into this yesterday, just sharing with you my thoughts. But with some of that, the details out there about possible shutdowns or, mandate of mask wearing and so forth, it's kind of, Airbnb is really, it's risky is what I'm saying. So when I thought about 3 to 5%, I'm like, well, it's going to have to get above my levels first. So we're just going to stay patient here before I start to get bigger in this trade. All right. All right, let's talk about Roku yesterday. That was pretty nasty, right? So if you bought the top there, which I know some of you guys did, you got slammed right away. Well, not right away. It actually went up for a few minutes. It was a nice scalp trade. But other than that, it pulled back very hard. But hard is perspective, right? This is a very volatile stock, folks. If you're trying to scalp this trade within the day, this is my thing. Like this thing can move 46 bucks in a week. All right. A lot of people don't understand that. They look at Roku and they're like, oh, this little thing I put in the back of my TV, it's a gentle giant, right? No, that's not true. It's volatile and it will smack you around. It's not the easiest trade, but notice that it came back right into my support box. This was the better trade, trying to buy it out of here on a reclaim of 448. This morning, just like everything else I've shown you, we're opening up into resistance. Again, can't make this up. It came into support box, moved into the trendy edge, and you find it just kind of stalling here this morning. On a positive note, on the 4 hour, it is above the EMA cloud. As far as risk to reward, though, your reward, see this buy signal from the trendy setup? It's about 455, and I think price would probably die out around 480. So, if you didn't take this pre-market, right now, gonna have to stay patient and see if we can stay above the trendy edge there, which is, give me 1 second so I can open this up and take a look there. But basically it's around 465 and a half. Okay. All right. Other than those, do you guys have any questions? We're going to go over here to the ES futures. If you got anything you want to look at, go ahead and let me know. ES futures, here we are. I specifically went over this yesterday when everybody was kind of like, "Oh man, this is getting scary." We just need to break out our rules, right? And so you look at last week's candle, you look at the pullback, and this thing was only pulling back to the 23.6. I gave you guys an update. I announced that update when we came in here immediately. I said price is coming to the 23.6. Look for it to hold. Okay. So if you're a futures trader, you're listening, you understand the levels, you made some money. 23.6 held very well. And again, from 4369 all the way up into 4402, folks, that is about a 30-point move or 1,500 bucks per contract on the ES futures, just to give you an idea of what that is. Okay. Also on the SPY, if you're just taking it off this 23.6, that's $3 to the upside just from that line. Okay. All right. So Omer, let's see here. AMT. Let's go ahead and take a look at that. All right, yesterday was looking pretty nice, man. This continues to be a very bullish run. We have an inside and up that started back in June of 21. Nice move, pull back to the trendy edge, continues to move, higher lows, higher highs, and here we are on the 4 hour. Okay, so support for this trade 285.75, looking for 288.35. Let's go ahead and throw some more Fibonacci extensions on here. I'm going to go from the last buy signal. Actually, I'm going to go right down to this level here. I'm going to come up, double click, 23.6, and this is what I would expect. I wouldn't expect more than this. If we get more than that, I think we start to get better, earnings. Facebook, Amazon, the market rocks, and we continue to move up. But for right now, 288 by 289, so let's say 290. All right, 290, support is 285.75. All right. All right, some other things that are coming across the board. If you look down here at your trade flash, McDonald pre-market lows, spot down about 5%. HMLP negative 62%. New inside sell are up almost. None of this really stands out to me. I'm not a fan of any of this. MAT, again, not interested in this at all. So all this stuff over here on Trade Flash, just not very interesting for me this morning. So I won't be using any of this. You can see my trades going across the screen here. Let's go ahead and go over Tesla. I think that one's important. So let's go here. All right, so Tesla came into the green box. Oh my goodness. So the green box held again, right? Like how many times can we go over these levels, right? It's easy for us to speculate. A lot of us traders are going to speculate and not wait for levels. But notice that every time, and I put this blueprint together months ago, notice that every time we come into this green box, it's a buying opportunity. Matter of fact, I'm pretty sure I went over this yesterday. And notice we come back to the green box. It is a buying opportunity. Notice we come back to the green box. It's a buying opportunity. Okay, so what does this mean? Well, overall, if you look at the banners up here on Tesla, it's pretty lame. These yellow banners immediately tell us that we don't want to be over allocated in this name. This trade can go in either direction. It is not overall bullish, and you can see that. All right. So far as price is concerned, this 628.5 level continues to be super strong. As long as that holds, I think we're in a holding pattern. It's not until we start to break above 683 and some change before we start to really move. So really at the end of the day, folks, you should have two alerts up here. 684.20 and down here towards this 628.5. Everything between you could be selling premium for the time being, right? Even iron condor to make it a little bit safer. That's what I'm seeing as a better opportunity with Tesla. All right. Also, Ford has earnings today after market. Underdog, you want to take a look at Disney really quick. We have about 4 minutes to open. Disney is still working off the trendy edge. All right. So once again, this market has been difficult, and I'll tell you from my opinion, the reason why it's difficult with options is because most of these are not trending. All right. They'll pop for a day and then they come back. It's like one step forward, two steps back, right? And it resets those premiums on these options, like you had brought up, Underdog. You and I were talking, and then you're kind of stuck, So you buy lots of time and you stick to your levels. Lots of time, again, is perspective, right? It could be a week for some of you traders, and for other traders, it might be 6 months. But one thing to notice is that Disney is holding the trendy edge over and over, and the better opportunity is to buy it at its extreme lows at the levels. Okay, where are we now? We're right below the trendy edge, and you can see that here, just like everything else, Underdog, that I showed, it is opening up into resistance. Okay, so that is the theme today, guys. You're opening up into resistance. Stay patient. Understand where your lower support levels are. And that's it. Lower support levels. Where's my resistance? One of those needs to break in order for me to take action. All right, pretty simple. All right, folks, we're going to get started here just in a few minutes. Let's jump over here to ES Futures, currently at 4,400 or up about 6 points off of that 23.6. I want to get you looking at your daily edges, and I want to give you some numbers really quick. Yesterday, by the way, guys, we were right to the tick. I think somebody said that was off a quarter point on that pullback, and from that pullback, you got paid big time from those levels that I gave you. Today, I need to give you those levels one more time. Listen up. ES expected range 4370 by 4422. NASDAQ expected range 14,917 by 15,095. All you got to do is use your daily edges, guys. We're making lower highs and higher lows on a smaller time frame. That's a sideways trend. Good luck to everybody. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for your support. Overall, my allocation going into this Wednesday is only at or around 2% of my account. It's very small at the moment. Also, if you go to the internet and just look up Market Watch, you'll get today's schedule. And you can also just go to Broad Market Analysis here in the room and check out what's on the schedule as well, as far as Feds go. Let me go ahead and read that to you real quick. We're on Wednesday. Advanced Trading Goods, and then we got Federal Open Market Committee announcement at 2 p.m. And then Jerome is on the mic at 2:30 p.m. Good luck, guys. All right, guys, there's your PMZ on the right-hand side here on ES Futures. If you want to learn more about that, please check out our blog, which is absolutely free over at TrendyTrading.co. Okay, this system right here works very, very well. These are some free scripts that we give to our members. The intraday Fibonacci's, these work out very well as well. Man, let's see, up a little bit here on open. I think ABNB is looking pretty good. Also, Chewy was looking pretty good on that pullback yesterday. Baba's come back $4 or so. Not bad. I'm going to jump over here on my other setup behind me, and I'm going to sit down and start to see if I can look for some trades. I'm going to keep our SPY, Qs, DIA, and IWM up here, just like this. And notice we did come into resistance on the Dow, like I said. Okay, and then right over here, close to resistance, and then same thing here on SPY. I'm going to blow this up just a tad so you can see a little bit better. And again, these charts are made for our members over the weekend and made for you guys as a reminder over the weekend. And you could see here, levels are working really good. Unfortunately, taking the trade over the neutral this week has been difficult because everything pulled back immediately on Tuesday. So right, resistance SPY, Qs, DIA, IWM. Now trying to inside and up here. And Apple continues to fade there. Let's see if it's coming back into one of our levels, and we'll see if we can buy the bottom of this. Give me 1 second. Yeah, ES to list. I'm almost all cash, man. And like I said, we're opening up into resistance, man. So we're just gonna play it cool and relax. Can you hear me? You good to go? Yeah. I think it's a good idea to wait right now. I want to buy at extreme levels to the downside, or sell to extreme levels, or stay patient to extreme levels to the upside. Okay. So I think that's the best way, man. I mean, this market has shown us over and over that our levels to the downside are the best places to try and take the trade, folks. Best place to take the trade. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look here, and let's reduce it. So, for example, look at ES. Okay, nice little dump here, right? Couldn't stay over the PMZ. We're inside on the week, right? We know what that means. It means pretty much churn, choppy conditions. We're sitting at the top of the WE. All right. We're just kind of creating a little bit of range into Jerome, you know. So we're just going to relax a little bit, hang out. And let's see here. We'll go to a couple of these. Baba's looking better today. That's good. Let's see. MELI, Tesla. Let's pull up ABNB really quick. There we go. Just kind of watch this one for a few. Okay. And then let's see. I need to put my alert right up here. And I'm gonna 4260, that's fine. We're going to put alert there. I'm not going to do anything. I'll probably start adding into this trade if we could start to break above there. But for right now, I'm just going to take it easy. This is 80 days out, by the way. And let's see. Let's go over here to my favorite and see what's going on. Looking behind me, I don't see anything that's triggering at the moment. Remember, we wanted to wait 30 minutes to an hour this morning. Okay. See, Microsoft pulled into the lower daily edge. Let me go ahead and just kind of show that to you guys, so you can see, how those levels work. You're going to see right here, over on your right-hand side, using daily edges, give you a good idea of how those work out. And personally, I like the daily edges when you don't know what to do. Basically, when we come into a chop session and the market's not trending, we're coming into a consolidation phase, a digest phase. The daily edges are really where it's at. Omer, are you still using those quite a bit for days like this? You can see here we came down into the daily edge. So this green box here, this is where you buy. And you set up your risk profile. Hey, I only want 20 cents of risk, 10 cents, whatever. And then you could just use the upper edges or the intraday Fibonacci's as a target to the upside. So very nice, very cool. When are you gonna share those scripts, man? You've turned some of these trendy scripts into some pretty cool stuff. I'm looking at it. So it's telling you ATR, it's telling you inside and up, it's telling you ACDC, it's telling you it's at the weekly edge, it's telling you it's at the monthly edge, and then it's telling you if you got a gap up. Very cool, man. Good job on that. $5 million. Hey, if you like that setup and people are interested, then you're more than welcome to, just run it through me and then whatever, man. But good on you. I like that. I like that. 100 million billion dollars. Yeah. But so far you can see here, Microsoft, nice little move here. And the way you trade this from an intraday perspective, again, daily edge, and now it's moving up to the daily mid. This is where you'd be trimming, right in here. So about $3 to the upside, not bad. Let's look at Apple really quick because we got a nice little pullback. See, everything opened up into resistance, and that's why it's so important to understand what real true resistance is, right? Those trendy edges, you don't have to look at things, you don't have to measure things. You literally, you have it already on your chart, which makes this trading so much easier. Um, did you guys see that picture? I forget what it is, but it was about Pfizer. I forgot to show you guys. All right, so here we are. So Apple came down into the trendy edge, and once again, it's bouncing from that level, 142.47. So just like Microsoft, if you're using your edges and you just have to trade, why not use your daily edges on a chop day? Perfect, perfect examples here, folks. Okay. How's that BA working out? 4x on those BA 140 calls this morning. Thanks, Trendy, for the process. He says, I'm pissed at profits again. They're volatile, upwards of $2.30 now, but, you know, 0.30 to $1.20 on a half a day overnight. Hold, I'll take that. Very good job, man. I think that's the hardest part of a lot of traders who come in here. Sometimes they'll, say, "Oh, it's hard for me to buy something counter trend," but unfortunately, they've actually been taught the opposite of trend. A lot of people, they don't have the right levels to understand what is uptrend, what's sideways trend, and what's downtrend. But you can see here, we push right into the ME, as we talked about, are very close to that target, and then we're resisting. So I would wait for this gap up, and I would think about, can price hold 230? And if it can't, don't look to take the trade again until it can reclaim 230. So right now it's in a holding pattern. Haha, Boeing, right? So. All right, and then Mike had brought up a pretty interesting chart on CAR over here. So I'm kind of interested in this. Not sure if he's on audio today, but I like this from the weekly perspective here. So it's pulling back right now. Did this pop this morning this high into 83? Yeah, I like this setup here. It's showing some support at the edge. I'm going to give it a couple more days, see what Jerome has to say. It would be a starter position for me, but you could see a nice move up here towards 85, 88. Let me see what those options look like. It's saying 230 on the broad market analysis. I got that chart in there. Yeah, Jerome's in the house, man. But let's come over here and see. I'm trying to look at the options on this. And these are, the ones that expire 20 August. When you don't have like weekly options and stuff like that, I prefer in the money. That's just me, but these are kind of expensive. 85s are 390 by 410. That's probably something I would shoot for in that range. We'll see how it can move here shortly. Let's take a look at MELI as well. I bought something out 50 plus days. It's up 20 bucks right now. It just kind of came in last couple days. Facebook only up 2 now. Look at this Futu. Nice, man. Under 100 bucks, that was a steal. Google up a whole 100. With Google, it's something like that when you've already gapped up 100 bucks, guys. How do you trade that? You know, you trade it the same way I've shown you how to trade gap ups, but I would think that the options, the premium's pretty high. So I'd prefer a butterfly or something like that to the upside. So here, let's see what we got. I'm going to go to a daily instead of a weekly. Okay, nice gap up. What you want to do is measure, okay, from this gap up into the pivot high there. Okay, and I'm off just a tad. It's about right there. And then I need to bring this guy down just a tad. Right there. All right, and you would expect the 38.2, 23.6 to hold here. So 2737. This is where the bulls will really come in and see if they can push this back up towards the highs. Now, if I wanted to do a Fibonacci extension for a target over this, I'm just going to take this gap up candle, double click here, and then right up towards here, 2763. So 60, 80, 100. So what I mean by that is like 2760 by 2780, and just kind of go for that low probability, kind of like what a lot of traders would call lotto. But this is how I see it. If Amazon were to report and it flies, I think this goes up another 50, 60 bucks, guys. So that's just me. All right, A, B, and B starting to move a little bit more. Yep, marked at or above. We're starting to break out above that level I gave you earlier. Nice push from the PMZ as far as intraday trading goes. Far as this week from a daily, I wouldn't expect it to get over 146 if it starts to hold here. Gonna stay patient. All right, guys, crowd starting to move as well. Let's see what we got over here. Amazon from the daily edge, folks. Can't make that up either. Came straight down to the daily edge and started to rocket off of those levels. Very cool. Man, lots of alerts going off. Let's come back over here. Okay, nice. There's our support. We talked about that, 438.20. back above the neutral, and then DIA, poor guy, just can't get over that.